Krishnaya Bhutale Simate Bhakti Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyanam Jnana Salakaya Chaksurum Militam Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Tadati Swapanantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sijuta Parakamala Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sirupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Tam Sujivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalitam Shri Visakambitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanti Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Visabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Ravi Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this evening we continue reading from the 7th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, The Science of God, Chapter 10, Prahlad, the best among exalted devotees. Text number 7. Yadi dashyasine kaman param stvam varadarshabha kamanam hridi asambroham bhavatastu grini param. Word for word meaning. Yadi, if, dashyasi, want to give, me, or me, kaman, anything desirable, Varan, as your benediction, Tvam, you, Varadha Rishabha, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can give any benediction, Kamanam, of all desires for material happiness, Hridhi, within the core of my heart, Asamroham, no growth, Bhavata, from you, Tu den vrine, I pray for varam, such a benediction. Do we have the control of this sound system? It's a little bit too echoey. Every time I say something, it's like repeated 3 times. Maybe you can put the echo part down. If there is a way how to do it, so that you can also hear. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. O my Lord, best of the givers of benediction, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart there be no material desires. Everybody please repeat after me. O my Lord, best of the givers of benediction, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your Lordships that within the core of my heart there be no material desires. Purport. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us how to pray for benedictions from the Lord. He said, Na danam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagat isa kamaye mama janmane janmanesware babatad bhaktir ahai tuki tvaye. O my Lord, I do not want from you any amount of wealth, nor many followers, nor a beautiful wife, for these are all materialistic desires. But if I have to ask you for any benediction, I pray that in whatever forms of life I may take my birth, under any circumstances, I will not be bereft of your transcendental devotional service. Devotees are always on the positive platform. In contrast to the Mayavadis, who want to make everything impersonal or void. One cannot remain void, sunyavadi. Rather, one must possess something. Therefore, the devotee on the positive side wants to possess something. And this possession is very nicely described by Prahlad Maharaj, who says, if I must take some benediction from you, I pray that within the core of my heart, there may be no material desires. The desire to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not at all material. Yadi dashyasi me kaman varam stvam varadar shabha kamanam hridi asamroham babadastu brine varam. When Lord Nrsimhadev, after killing Hiranyakashipu for protecting his pure devotee, Prahlad Maharaj here is only like 5-year-old boy. And the Puranas, in the Vedas, the 5-year-old boy is very mystical age. We've heard that the Kumaras as well, they look like 5-year-old boys. even though they are millions and millions of years old, due to their retaining their semen. They are brahmacharis all of their lives. And the same with Dhruva Maharaj. He was 5 years old when he became insulted by his stepmother and wanted to have a kingdom better than his father. And here also we have Prahlad Maharaj, who is only a mere 5-year-old boy. But they are not ordinary boys. They are self-realized, pure devotees, Mahabhagavat. And Prahlad Maharaj also, same with the Kumaras, they're also Mahajans. Mahajans means they are authorities of religion. Swayambhu, Narado Shambhu, Komara Kopila Manu, Prahlado Janako Bhishmo, Balir, Vayasaki, Vayam. Dharma. What is the eternal Dharma or religion of every living entities? Jaiva Dharma. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also wrote that book called Jaiva Dharma. The eternal religion of every living entities, moving and non-moving, is that they are all eternally servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Srila Prabhupada says, the best religion is that whereby you will learn how to develop love for God. And there is only one God. We may have different families, different cultures, different nationalities, creed, religion, and race, but we have one common Father, Lord Krishna. So after killing Hiranyakashipu, Lord Nrsimhadev, he was so much full of anger that he cannot be pacified. And even the great demigods like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and everyone, they cannot come close. Even Lakshmiji cannot get closer to Lord Nrsimhadev. And somehow or other, Prahlad Maharaj was induced and pushed towards Lord Nrsimhadev to pacify him. And yes, indeed, because Prahlad Maharaj is so dear to Lord Nrsimhadev, that Lord Nrsimhadev became pacified. Now, he was so much grateful about Prahlad Maharaj, being always remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that he wanted him to be given some benediction. The demons also, they perform tapasya or austerities for material gain. They always want something in return, knowingly that if they will not get their benediction, then ultimately there'll be some distraction, some disturbance. And so Prahlad Maharaj was offered some benediction, even though deep within his heart, he doesn't want anything in return. This is bhakti. Bhakti means love and devotion. Service towards the Supreme Lord without any ulterior motive, without any self-interest. There is a verse in the Bhagavad Gita that if one offers with love and devotion a leaf, a fruit, flower, or some water, I will accept it. Patram puspam palam toyam yomi bhakja prayachati. With love and devotion, this is the main ingredient. That if one wants to offer something to the Supreme Lord, the worshippers of the demigods, they offer something to the demigods, but without love and devotion. And they're expecting so much in return. But the devotees of the Supreme Lord, they will offer something for the Lord, for His pleasure, but with love and devotion. And it is not the objects that the Lord wanted to have or receive from the devotee. It is the love and devotion. So this verse was repeated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. You will never find any sloka from the Bhagavad Gita that's been repeated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Usually, Chaitanya Charitamrita will quote a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, or vice versa, but not from Bhagavad Gita. So, Prahlad Maharaj was offered being very pleased with his efforts, with his activities, that the Lord feels obliged. Every little service that we do for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna becomes obliged. He will never forget. It'll be eternally in our spiritual bank account. Just like here, we have bank account, you put your money, but sometimes it can go bankrupt. You will not get your money back. But anything that we do for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord is eternally credited. And as Srila Prabhupada says, that when it comes to reach a certain point, then we'll go back home, back to Godhead. So, Prahlad Maharaj was offered a benediction, a boon. But Prahlad Maharaj says, no. If there is some transaction, like a mercantile, expecting something in return, if a devotee is expecting something from the Supreme Lord for the service that he rendered, then this is like a business transaction. But somehow or other, Prahlad Maharaj was convinced to ask for a benediction, even though deep within his heart, no, I don't want anything. But because you are asking me, my dear Lord, within my heart, the core of my heart, that I will not have any material desires. Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj, from what I've read and understood from the Srimad Bhagavatam, they're the only children who does not want to go and play with other children. Have you seen any children doesn't want to play with other children? Huh? Of course not. Prahlad Maharaj is so realized, so advanced, that he says, why waste time? Why waste time? Now that we're still young, at the year 5 years old, now is the time to realize the Supreme Absolute Truth. So yes, this is very rare. To have no material desires is very rare. As long as we have this material body, we'll still have some desire materially. But if we use that desire for Krishna, it is not material desire. Prabhupada says only dead person doesn't have any desires. This is the nature of the soul, to always want to have desire. We were reading the other day, and I mentioned this a few times, they did a study that a person can have 22,000 desires in one day. I don't know how they figured that out, but they probably have some apparatus. You know, sometimes you've seen some gadgets or some instruments to measure the brain waves. But I think they are wrong. One can have at least one of the 8,400,000 species the desire to have like that. It says in the Bhagavad Gita, yam yam vapi smaram babam jajanti anti kalevaram. Whatever one thinks at the time of death, that he will attain. So similarly, whatever we are doing every day, we're actually forming our next life. And there are 8,400,000 species of life. So any one of those, we can have that desire. Now, there is what you call also to be desireless. You have heard of that? We should be desireless. How can that be? Because this is the nature of the soul, to desire. To be desireless means to not have any material desires and to only desire whatever Krishna desires for us. Why is it that it's very difficult to give up material desires? Srila Prabhupada says because of false ego. Our body is composed of material elements, 5 gross and 3 subtle elements. Our main disease, Prabhupada says, is that we have forgotten Krishna. We have forgotten Krishna. Why? Because we tend to identify that this body is the self, which is what you call Maya, illusion. To think that I am this body seems to be very simple. To think that I am this body, yes, everyone identifies with the body. But to identify that we are not this body and we are spirit soul is very difficult. Simple philosophy. Srila Prabhupada will always hammer. Most of his lectures, conversations, arrival address, in his books, usually the number one subject matter is, you are not this body. For those of us who hear regularly Srila Prabhupada's lectures, this is always the number one topic. But why is it so difficult to understand? Why is it that after hearing many times still we consider and tend to think that I am this body? This is due to false ego. That I am American, I am Indian, I'm Russian, I'm Filipino, I'm Hindu, non-Hindu, Christian, Jew, whatever. That I belong to such and such country, to such family, and extended wise, this is my wife, this is my husband, these are my children. All of these things are temporary. And therefore, if we're going to desire, we should only have one desire. That's why we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day. Oh, energy of the Lord, Shrimati Radharani, please engage me in the service of your Krishna. This should be our only desire. Anything else besides desiring for Krishna means material desires. And material desires means sinful desires. There is a reaction. There is karma. We have to receive the reaction of what we are desiring, which is aside from pleasing Krishna and his devotees. That's why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came 500 years ago in the mood of a devotee, is none other than Radha and Krishna. But to show us how to become a devotee, this is the love of the Supreme Lord. This is the compassion and kindness of the Supreme Lord. He showed us how to become a devotee. The Lord is so eager for us to go back home, back to Godhead, than we do ourselves. We want to play around. We want to stay here in the material world as long as possible. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he prays, Nadanam na janam na sundarim, kavitamba jagat isa kamaye, mama janmaniswari, babatad bhaktir ahay tuki twaye. Same prayers of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. What's that verse? Whatever is mine, my family, my wife, my wealth, everything belongs to you. Manasa deho geho jo kichu mora artilu duapade Nanda Kishora. How many of us are thinking like that? Whatever belongs to me actually belongs to you. Nothing belongs to us. We came here naked. We came out of the womb of our mother naked. And when we live this body, we don't take anything with us except if we still have karma. We take that with us next life. So one must be very careful to ask. This is the nature again of the conditioned soul, to ask something from God. It's like they will go to a place of worship and they will have so many desires to be fulfilled. Our prayer should be only that I may not take birth again, and if I will take birth again, Bhaktivinoda Thakur prays, I don't mind being a dog, even at least a dog in the family of devotees. Why? At least we will be reminded about Krishna. Fortunate enough are those who will have this opportunity and privilege to live in the family of devotees. Their Krishna consciousness will be revived. They will make themselves in a situation that there is an opportunity to go back home, back to Godhead. Some of us, well, at least most of you, I've seen only few foreigners here today. Those who took birth in India, you're very fortunate. It's just like one in millions of lifetimes to take birth in the land of Dharma. Isn't it? That right from the very start of your age, of your life, you will hear Krishna or Radha, or what is karma, what is yoga, what is dharma. This is very rare. For some of us who took birth in militia countries, we did not have this opportunity right from the early age. And we're taught in a different way. But you, this is what you call, you took birth auspiciously. Very auspicious. So don't take this opportunity, you don't take for granted this opportunity to go back home, back to Godhead. Once in our lifetime, we will make a decision. Shall I completely surrender to Krishna or continue on with my material desires to be fulfilled? This is very important. Once in our lifetime, we will make a decision. Shall I continue on with my desire to be fully independent? That's very, very serious, isn't it? Prabhupada says also that the main disease that we have is that we have forgotten Krishna. Srila Prabhupada explains that love for Krishna is within our heart. Right now it is covered up and it has to be uncovered. There are few ways how we can do that, how we can purify our desires. By engaging in Bhakti Yoga, there are 9 processes of Bhakti, starting with Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Bandhanam, Padasevanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Atmanivedanam is the last. What does Atmanivedanam means? Giving up everything. Atma, my body, my words, my actions, and my very self. My words, everything for Krishna. So, due to our forgetfulness that we are eternal servants of the Supreme Lord, the soul turns away from the Lord. Krishna is there, but we misuse our minute independence and we went this way. How we can revive? Again, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It is easy to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but it becomes difficult because we become distracted and we commit so many offenses. So while chanting the holy names of the Lord, every day we'll keep on being reminded about the 10 offenses to be avoided. Hear about Krishna regularly. Just like here, Shibala Prabhu makes us remember or memorize a verse. As he was saying, if you can memorize 1 verse a day, that is very good, isn't it? It only takes 20 minutes. How about hearing Srimad Bhagavatam? How many of us here read Srimad Bhagavatam every day? Jai. Okay, how about Bhagavad Gita? Raise your hands. Oh, I've seen some devotees not raising their hands. You must. Prabhupada instructed us to read every day, minimum 1 hour. Now, if you cannot read, at least try to hear Prabhupada's lectures or any devotees within ISKCON. Don't hear outside of ISKCON. It doesn't matter how popular this person is. It is risky. Your spiritual life will be in danger. So nowadays, there is a tendency to hear some Baba here, or Baba there, or Sadhu here. We give respect. Always align ourselves with Prabhupada's mission, Prabhupada's movement. Don't go outside of Prabhupada's movement. It is dangerous. Keep association of the devotees. Whenever you have the opportunity to join Sadhu Sangha or association of devotees, please do so. And association of devotees is free. We don't charge here. I think if we charge here, many of you will not be here, isn't it? Or maybe there'll be, this is double. Who knows? As Prabhupada says, sweet mango, if you give to somebody, he will not take. But if you said, oh, this is only 100 rupees and this is very sweet, immediately you will buy. But chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Prasadam, Devotee Sangha, these are all free. Accept Krishna as the enjoyer. This is another way how we can give up our material desires. Have Krishna as the center of our life, especially most of you are Grihastha. Grihastha ashram means Krishna is the center of all your activities. If Krishna is not the center of your activities, then one becomes Grihamedi, sense enjoyer in household life. Again, there's no spiritual life in that way. Practice renunciation through engagement. Maharaj, how can I be renounced? I'm Grihastha. You are sannyasi. Yes, you can renounce. Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means using everything for the service of the Lord. Whatever you have, use it for the pleasure of Krishna and his devotees. And ultimately, we should pray for purification. Prayers are very powerful. It's like whenever there is some trouble in our movement, and when Srila Prabhupada was not well, he taught the disciples to chant these prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev for the protection of the spiritual master. And just like in Mayapur, we have Prahlad Nrsimha deities for the protection of the movement. So please don't forget to pray. I can pray for you also. You can pray for your friends. You can pray for your family. You can pray for your loved ones. But no one can chant your rounds except yourself. You cannot say, Maharaj, can you chant my rounds, please? It's not possible. But that is the topmost prayer. So material desires will always be there as long as we have this body. We just have to purify these material desires to serve the Supreme Lord. Then, hope against hope, at the end of this life, we'll go back home, back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada Ki! I stop now. Is there any questions or comment? Oh, Haribol. Yes, sir. It is very difficult. Come here. I can repeat that for the benefit of everyone. No more mic? Oh, there's no more mic there. Here. Are you sure? We try to purify ourselves, yes. We're stuck up, we cannot move on. Well, first and foremost, if you really want to give up the attachment for material sense enjoyment, then you need a devotee who can help you. There is a saying in English, if you don't ask, you don't get. And in spiritual life, we need guidance, especially of an able devotee who is more advanced than we are. That's why if you really become serious in spiritual life and continuously make advancement until you attain love of God, you need a spiritual master, guru. Now, that is very difficult. Because how to choose guru? Now, there are three kinds of guru. According to Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhartma Pradakshina Guru, the one who introduced you to Krishna, is a guru. The one who gives you instructions, spiritual instructions, to make further advancement in Krishna consciousness, that is called Shiksha Guru. Now, Chaitanya Charitamrita says, usually the Shiksha Guru becomes the Diksha Guru, the initiating spiritual master. And there is no difference between Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru. And sometimes, according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Shiksha Guru becomes more prominent because he's there, he's easily available. Just like here in Damodar Desh, you're very fortunate. I cannot overemphasize, and I'm praising Sribala Prabhu for him to be with you. Am I correct? I'm serious. I'm not flattering anybody here. You will make progress only by following the instructions of the Shiksha Guru and the Diksha Guru. But the Diksha Guru is always traveling. He's going here and there. Not for enjoyment. You think traveling is fun? I can tell you, I have a first-hand experience. It is not fun. It is only fun when you reach the place. But when you keep on... No. And always seek, always search for those who are more advanced than you are. By their association, you will also get this, what you call Prabhupada, when there's an epidemic, everyone gets infected. Be careful, COVID-19 is here around again. So if you're around with like-minded devotees, advanced devotees, you will get encouraged, you'll get inspired, you'll get motivated, you'll become convinced. They'll make sure you're always on the right path. Sadhu Sangha, very important. So whenever you find an opportunity, please do so. Invite your friends. Have some kind of Bhakti Briksha program. Study the Shastra together. There are many ways how we can become inspired at all times. Any other points? Is that okay? Or go to the Holy Dham. Don't miss that one. Go to Jagannath Puri Dham, Mayapur Dham, Dwarka Dham, Kurukshetra Dham, and Sri Vrindavan Dham. That will energize you. That will, recharge your spiritual battery. Because here, oh boy, you need a lot of charging, spiritual charge. Here, everyone is just going back and forth, back and forth. How many times a day they have to drive here and there? Only for material pursuit, to fulfill their material desires. But devotees, no. They go to satsang, they go home. They go to office, they come home. They go to devotee's place, they come home. We don't go anywhere else, isn't it? Or maybe sometimes to your relatives. Anything else? Any more questions or comments? Did we understand today's topic? What is material desire and how to get rid of material desire, or how to utilize our material desires in Krishna consciousness? If I hear Haribol, that means you understood. Others are not saying Haribol. You did not understand? Okay, one more time. One more time. Srila Prabhupada Ki. Om Tat Sat.
We have a Gauda. Do you want to sing?
Okay.